Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. It's going to be a reading update. It was late Friday night. I didn't get the chance to sit down and do a call-in chat tonight, so that do reading update. I haven't actually been reading that much, so it's more of like what I just got from the library with the small reading update and my plans to kind of get back into reading. But I have been working on one book. And I'm in the middle of a whole bunch, but like, I'm just focused, I mentioned one because if not, I'll see here list like 6 or 7 books off that I'm in the middle of working on. So, I am still working my way through The Institute by Stephen King. This book is going to be put on hold for a few days just because I had to go to the library, renew my card, and I can now have the audiobook of this in 6 days, or it gets renewed or returned sooner I get the audiobook. I did read the first, chapter of it, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty slow so far, which is usually kind of the normal for Stephen King. I would say usually the first third of his books are very, very slow, at least as of recent. I feel like his pacing back in the earlier books were a lot more fast, then like slows down towards the middle until like the very end speeds back up, and then like his newer ones are more slow for like the first third to first half of it, and then the rest moves pretty quickly. So I'm going to do the audiobook of this. The audiobook I can't look up because it's on my phone. I think it's 18 hours, and I have 14 days once I check it out. Once I borrow it to read it. So I'm gonna try to, when I sit down and color, when I sit down and dye and paint, excuse me, or when I just sit down and do anything like play a game or anything like that, or any free time, just sit down and read the book. So that's my plan. If it picks up where I feel like the audiobook is going too slow and it's getting interesting, I want to read it more, then I'll just pick up the book itself and read it. Because that's my thing with audiobooks that I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get into it more, is that I find that a lot of audiobooks don't move fast enough for me, because I tend to read pretty fast in my head. You know, if I'm reading out loud, I am horrible at it. But I feel like in my head I read faster than the narrators, so I find that I get annoyed at that. But if I speed it up, I get annoyed that it's moving too quickly. It's like a double-edged sword, you know? So I'm gonna try to do audiobooks and try to get into them more so that I know, hey, I can have it. And what I'm gonna try doing is, for one, my shelf, go to my shelf, find the books that they're on there, find the books that I can listen to on Cloud Library and Hoopla, and read that way. That way I have the physical book on hand, just in case I'm really, really getting into the book, and I can then just pick it up and read it at my own time, and then fast forward until I either get to where I was in the book, or just give up on the audiobook altogether and just finish up reading myself. So, speaking of the library, I had to go to the library today because my library card expired. It expires pretty much every 2 years, but I never knew like when every 2 years, and I finally asked the person today, and it expires on your birthday every 2 years. So it's very convenient that something expires on your birthday, you know. But as long as it's not me, the library card can expire. So I renewed it, all that kind of stuff. And I checked some books out. I got 5 books. I only have 4 here to show you because one of the books is in the living room, because when I was showing Mom the books I got, she wanted to read it, and that is Bird Box. So I finally got Bird Box from the library, and I figured I'll read it. If I like it, I can just go ahead and me and my mom can watch the movie then of it, because it's on Netflix. I looked up on Cloud Library on my phone, and the audiobook is on there, so I might just start the audiobook while my mom's reading that one, so we can kind of read at the same time. I'm not sure. But that one's out there, so I can't actually show you it. And I got 2 books here. I've shown before, I'm going to be very, very brief on it. I am buckling down, and I want to finish and get caught up in the series of the 4th book. I think it comes out this year. When is this one? Let me see. I think it comes out. Yeah, I think it comes out this year. Or maybe it was out last year. 17, 18. It might have been out by now, I'm not sure. But I can check into it. But that is the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. The first book is Stalking Jack the Ripper. The second book is The Haunting of Prince Dracula. And the third book is Escape from Houdini. This one follows Aubrey Rose Wadsworth. In the first book, she was trying to figure out who the Jack the Ripper is. And then this one, she goes to I think she's sent to a school. I believe it's a medical school, actually. Yeah, prestigious forensic school, because she wants to go into forensics. She wants to be a doctor. I think she wants to be a doctor. She wants to be the mortician type person. And her father, at the end of the first book, sends her to this pristine school with the love interest is her protector, basically. What's his name? What is his name again? It's been a while. Thomas Craswell. And then this one I think just comes across Prince Dracula. So yeah, Dracula, I'm into. I love everything Dracula. I love everything Dracula, Vlad the Impaler, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that, and it does refer to him as Vlad the Impaler, not Dracula. So it's more the Vlad the Impaler-esque side, I think, than the Dracula is what he was more known as later on. And then this one is the third one, and I think just a brief thing I'm going through. I think they go to America, they go on a cruise ship with Houdini, something like that, and apparently escape from Houdini means he's probably the evil guy in the book. So yeah, I enjoyed the first book. I wouldn't say I loved it. I had a lot of problems with it, but I did really like the main character, Aubrey. I really, really liked her. She wasn't your typical dumb female character. And what I mean by that is a lot of female characters in young adult books, they're made out to be this strong character, and I put that in quotes because they're pushed out as like a super strong character, and then they're not. And with Aubrey, she had her faults and she had her weak moments, but overall her head was very much in what was going on in the story and in what was going on. She really wanted to do the right thing, and instead of really focusing on her and focusing on things happening to her, her first really thought process was what's happened to other characters. Like, there's the thing in the first book where her uncle gets accused of being Jack the Ripper, and she doesn't care about herself anymore. It's all about proving that her uncle is not Jack the Ripper. And I really like that because a lot of the female characters in young adult books, they're written as a strong character, but then they need the male love interest to be the hero, and to be the strong female characters turn into more of damsel distress characters. And with Aubrey, she was a lot more just a strong female character from start to finish. So I really enjoyed that. So that's why I want to read that and see where it goes and see if it picks up. If it doesn't pick up in the second book, I'm just going to return them and just be done with it. I'm hoping with being involved with Dracula picks up, but Also, I know people have been recommending books before. I'm forgetting these are the last two ones. I have a list. My library just hasn't had any of them on hand, so I'm trying to search my library, Hoopla, so like that, and I will see if I can find them or put them on hold as soon as I can. So I want to make sure to say that because I know that people have recommended me books in the past, and I don't want it to seem like I'm just ignoring them or pushing away. I have a list of them. It's just my library is constantly changing stuff. So if they're shifting books, which they usually shift books every 3 months, they take the book off of their website until it is into the new library, because it shifts from, say the books are all stamped on the back, they have a sticker of which library it is. They take the sticker off, and if it goes from this my library I go to, it's no longer this book here. So this book would no longer be from that library, be from the other one. So they wait until it's that one, they replay back to the system. It's weird. So just leave it in the system and be like, okay, here's the book, you know. But yeah, next book, as you see me moving around, is Defy the Fates by Claudia Gray. This book, I cannot mention it because, or talk about it, because it is the third book in the Defy the Star series. This series is amazing. If you're not really into science fiction books, you will still like this book because it is science fiction, but it is very light on it. It's more of a space opera, which basically means that it's set in space, but it's not really revolving around space. And even though you're on spaceships, you're traveling to different planets, it's not about that. It's more about the two main characters, which are, when I open up, I believe it's Naomi and Atlas. Am I right? No. It is Naomi and Abel. Naomi is a human, and Abel is a cyborg. He was programmed to be the younger version of one of these scientists, and he ended up getting lost in space, going rogue, and him and Naomi ends up saving him, and they go on this long journey. It's very, very hard to explain. I am bad at explaining books, but it is amazing. It's so good. Honestly, I want this to be a movie series or a TV series because Naomi and Abel are so close to my heart, and the fact that this last book ended is short. The second book was like, I think 600 pages, and this one is 466 pages long. The fact that there's 140 less pages almost is just like heartbreaking, but at the same time, I can't wait to devour this one. It doesn't take long at all because the printing is pretty good in here. So, yeah, I absolutely loved it. If you want to pick it up, here is the first one is Defy the Stars, second one is Defy the Worlds, and the third one is Defy the Fates. I will probably pick the series up because depending on how this one ends, because it is so good. Like I said, I'm not a big science fiction person. I like science fiction movies and shows and stuff like that. But for some reason, books, I can never find the right one. And I think I'm going to stick more to like space operas that take place in space, but is not about the science fiction elements. Or if it has science fiction elements, it's very, very minuscule. So my last one. This is going to be my book I start probably this weekend. I'm very, very, very excited about it because I loved her first book. I believe it was her. Was it her first book? I believe it was. Doesn't have her thing. Doesn't have a list of books. I think it is. But I loved her first book. Loved the movie of the first book. So I can't wait to read this one. I have the audiobook on Cloud Library ready, and I think it's like 11 to 12 hours, so not very long at all. If I listen to like maybe an hour a day, excuse me, if I listen to an hour a day, 2 hours a day, I'll be done with it fast, you know. and that is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. She's who wrote The Girl on the Train. I absolutely love that book. Love the movie. So I'm really excited to read this one. Like I said, I am just really excited. I might actually just, depending on how I feel, I might just pick it up and read, because I remember when I read The Girl on the Train, I read it in like 2.5 days. I stayed up until I think like 3 or 4 in the morning, back when I had a sleep schedule. And I just devoured that book. I loved it. I didn't see the ending coming, which was really surprising, because as much as I love mystery novels, and I love that, like the whodunit type thing, I'm very good at like picking out, I've mentioned this many times before, I'm very good at picking out who did it. Like, if you watch like a mystery movie with me, or like Murder, She Wrote, I can literally sit there and be like, that person did it. Any episode, that person did it. Like, I would say 9 out of 10 times. You don't want to watch that kind of stuff with me, because I'll sit there and ruin it and be like, that person did it. Done. And it turns out right. So I was very surprised when actually I didn't know the ending. I thought I did, and then I was like, nope, that ending. So I'm hoping that this one is just as good. I haven't heard much about this one as The Girl on the Train, so I'm hoping it's as good. This one has a single mother turns up dead at the bottom of a river that runs through the town early this summer. A vulnerable teenager meets the same fate. They are not the first women lost these dark waters, but their deaths disturb the river and its history, dredging up secrets long submerged. So yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be just like a town mystery almost, something like that. So I'm really excited about that. I really like these kind of books. I have like a whole list of these kind of books that I was watching Citurista, and she was talking about like this kind of books, like this style of books, where people have like past, stuff like that, and like all the family drama mysteries like that, and it really got me into wanting to read those kind of books. So I seen that one there, I snatched it up, because I, for one, love Paula Hawkins, and two, there's 2 types of books, well, 3 types of books that really get me back into reading when I'm in a slump, which is usually a Stephen King novel, or any kind of favorite books, which if I can't pick up anything I really want to read, and if none of these call out to me, I'll pick up, probably start rereading the Mortal Instruments series, the Foot of Devices series, Twilight. I would say Harry Potter. My books are starting to fall apart, because I've read them so much, and I don't want them to fall apart right now, so I need to get, I think for Christmas, I'm going to get a box set, or when I have extra money, I need to get a box set with paperbacks, because all my hardcovers are starting to fall apart. I read them that much. Like, all of my books, my Prisoner of Azkaban is split down here, and it just like falls apart. My Goblet of Fire is, there's like pages just shoved back in it because it's gonna fall out. So I need to, get some more, a new box set, I think. So I'm not gonna read that one, but if I read one of your favorite, it's usually a romance novel, or like a mystery-esque novel. It usually gets you right back into reading. So, and if you wonder what I'm looking over here, I'm looking at my bookshelves. So yeah, I'm getting distracted and look for the books, But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this now and go to bed. Edit this, go to bed. Get it uploaded, go to bed, And I'm hoping I'll probably read tonight. I will start reading the Paul Hawkins book, because I am going to, I think, wait for a Stephen King book. But yeah, I'm gonna start rambling now. I also didn't mention it, I have dyed my hair. I am back to normal. I am black. Well, technically, I don't know. It won't pick up, but I got a blue-black hair dye, which is my usual go-to, because it lasts longer. the fading process, if you actually use like bare shampoo, it goes from blue black to a soft black, and then it's time to re-dye it, you know? But I had green remnants of hair dye in my hair yet. So my hair turned purple black. So my hair under certain lights is like a deep plum color. It doesn't have anything. It's like this, but black. Which I'm not complaining. I was just surprised when I was done, like, oh, it's purple black. So I just got tired of having to do my hair so much. And now I don't have to dye my hair for the next probably 3 months. Just let it grow, do whatever it wants, 2 and 3 months. Where everyone else like every 3 weeks, it's like, nope, I'm done. So yeah, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna go ahead and edit after this, go to bed, read, and then I'm gonna get up tomorrow. We're gonna go get some stuff in the store because we have a vehicle now. It is a very loud van, but it gets places. It's not fancy, but it gets us places. And I'm gonna go trade in some games at GameStop. I'm gonna go and pick some a lock and gas cap up because our neighbor likes to siphon our vehicles. Or I'm sorry, not a neighbor, but our neighbor's daughter's boyfriend likes to siphon vehicles. And mysteriously, ever since we got rid of the truck because the engine blew, well, the engine was about to blow and we were tired of the place where we were leasing it from not wanting to fix it, fix all the problems with it. He was showing up regularly and everything like that in his vehicle. The truck goes missing. Well, not missing, you know, the truck is taken away. Never shows back up again. So someone doesn't have gas. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm rambling. I'm hoping this is gonna go up Saturday, so I'm not sure if I'll film Sunday or tomorrow night. So there might not be a video Sunday, but I'm gonna jump back into Margaret Madness Sunday night, and I'm gonna film a Happy Meal video next week because I think there was a comment when Rosemary sent and someone was coming in the 3rd and the 9th. So I don't know if the package that came in Thursday. Was it Thursday? Wednesday? Wednesday. I don't know if that one was the one that was coming in the 9th. Or if something else is coming in the 9th. So I'm gonna wait till make sure, you know, if I'm having a video next week. But yeah, I'm just getting rambly now. So I'm gonna end this for like the 4th time now. I hope everyone's having an amazing weekend. Let me know what you are reading down below if you are reading. Let me know what you're crafting or coloring, anything like that. In coloring, I'm working on one book in Happy Meal and watching Outlander, which I watched the first 2 episodes and I think I'm becoming obsessed. I checked for the first book at the library, didn't have it there, and I'm kicking myself because I got rid of the Outlander book I had because I thought I was never gonna read it. So I'm gonna have to purchase that from Thrift Books again. But yeah, hope everyone's having an amazing weekend. Until next time, happy reading, happy crafting, happy coloring. Don't know how to sign off on reading videos just yet, so I'll see you guys in the next video.